Hello, hi, my name's Lucy Thompson and I'm a solution-focused hypnotherapist. And yes, thank you ever so much to Running Bear for inviting me to come on to do this live talk. Basically, I'll introduce myself a bit. So like I say, I'm Lucy Thompson, I'm a solution-focused hypnotherapist and I am based in Stockport, Greater Manchester. However, I do work online now, so one of the benefits of being in lockdown is that I am accessible to anyone, anywhere, which is wonderful. So I've come on today to do this live to talk to you about the benefits of running, and I can see lots of people joining, which is really exciting. And for me, the way that it benefits your mental health as well as your physical health, because it's obviously that it benefits your physical health because it's running, it's great for your health, but it's about your mental health as well. I have got notes, and the reason why I've got notes is that I get very easily distracted and go off on a tangent, so I like to be able to just refer back to my notes just to make sure that I'm not going off on a complete tailspin, because that happens a lot. If you lived in my mind, you would understand why. So I'm a runner. I never thought I'd say that. I never used to be a runner. I always went to the gym. I didn't really like running. I tried, I did it a bit. I used to do the odd 10k event here and there, but I didn't really enjoy it. I started running at the beginning of lockdown number 1, what we're in now 3. So probably March last year. Hi everyone who's waving, hello. Say hi if you want to. I was a beginner back then, pretty much, what I would call a beginner. And my running journey started with my gym's closing, and it was like, what am I going to do? My gym's closed and I love exercise, what am I going to do? So I put on my trainers and went running. And then ended up doing a 10k accidentally that day, and then that was it. I kind of got the bug. And it was the challenge, somebody challenged me and I just carried on going. So after that, I started following a training plan and then trained, and then in July I ran a solo half marathon around Stockport, so still in lockdown. Oh, hi Diane, see you, hi. Still in lockdown. Ran a solo half marathon, just got up. I'd been training for it, but I just got up one Saturday morning and was like, this is it, I'm doing it. So what do I love about running? Well, the best thing about running is once you've bought your decent pair of trainers and whatever you need, it's free. And you can just get out and you can just do it, and you can go whenever you want, as long as you don't have any commitment. Thank you. I can't see what your name is, because it says D Megan 20. Thank you for saying that's awesome. I thought it was pretty awesome. I was really proud of myself when I did it. So it's free, but for me the biggest bonus is the impact that it has on our mental health, which is just amazing, and why I'm such a massive advocate for exercise in general, but for running. So we know that exercise and running, the reason why, the sciencey bit behind why it's so good for our mental health, is that it stimulates and various neurotransmitters and chemicals in our brains that activates this and promotes this kind of mentally healthy behaviour. We've all heard of runner's high. If you're a runner, you've had runner's high, you know what it feels like when you finish that run. So it stimulates the really happy hormones and the good feeling hormones in our bodies and minds. So that's your dopamine, your serotonin, your endorphins, stuff like that. And we get a good hit of dopamine. So dopamine's our reward chemical, and we get a good hit of dopamine when we run further, run faster, finish the run. We feel good, so we're encouraged to do it again and then again and again and again, and that is why it's so good for our mental health. That's one of the reasons why, anyway. So basically, with all those chemicals being produced, it helps to balance and stabilise our moods. Now, the big thing about running that I love as a hypnotherapist, especially as a solution-focused hypnotherapist, is the headspace that it gives you. So when we go out for a run, we're giving our brains downtime. We are not thinking about the news, we're not thinking about what's on, what email we've just read, what's on social media. We're thinking about our breathing, we're thinking about the next step, we're thinking about how fast we're going, we're thinking about when we're going to finish, how long we've got to go. So we're focusing on that one thing. I saw a wonderful thing on Facebook. A friend of mine had been for a run and wrote on Facebook afterwards, why do I always feel like I could write a book after I've been running? And that is the reason why, because when we go running, we give our subconscious that space and that downtime that it needs to process the events of the day and make sense of them. Agreed, always feel, sat nav 40, always feel lighter in terms of emotional baggage after run. Yeah, so this is why. So what happens is that we give our brain that bit of downtime, that bit of headspace, so that we can work through those thoughts that we're having in our brains. We don't have downtime for our brain anymore. We live in a world where we are 24/7 connected to everybody and everything. So if we think back to great grannies, or grannies depending on how old you are, or great great grannies depending on how old you are, they didn't have washing machines. They had a tub of water that they had to hand wash the clothes in, and then they got the mangle, if you remember the old fashioned mangles, and they'd have to feed each item through the mangle, and they'd have to turn it and turn it and turn it to get the water out, excess water out, and then they'd have to hang up the clothes and wait for them to dry. Whereas these days, a good example of why we have no downtime for our brain is that we get the washing out of the washing basket, we take it to the laundry, we put it in the washing machine, we press go. We go away, we do 50,000 other things, we come back, we take it out of the washing machine. If you've got a dryer, you plonk it in the dryer, you press go, you walk away, you do everything else. So we don't have that time to be nicely bored anymore, and it doesn't give our brains a break. Now running and doing that kind of repetitive, focusing on just that one thing is like the granny and the mangle, and sitting there and doing it and rinsing out and draining out all those clothes. So it's beautiful for giving your brain some downtime, which is why you feel so much better after your run. Now it's similar to, so I'm also going to do, when I finish this talk, is I'm going to do some guided relaxation with you, or trance as we call it in hypnotherapy. Now trance is the same, it gives your brain some downtime and it allows your subconscious to focus on one thing, and when it focuses on one thing and positive, lovely positive things, it can come up with solutions that it's looking for. Now trance is very normal. We all go into trance many times a day. We go into trance when we're running, we go into trance when we're watching, when we're engrossed in a good TV programme. We go into trance when we are driving our car somewhere that we've been before millions of times. So say home from work, and you get home and you think, oh, I'm home but I can't remember how I got here. So that is going into trance. But you know that in that time when you're driving that car, that if a light changed to red, if a car slammed on its brakes, if someone stepped out, you'd be fully in control and you'd be back and you'd be able to do what you need to do. That's exactly the same as what it's like during trance. But it's the same in the way of running, that it's just focusing on one thing. So we're going to be doing that after I've finished, just in about 5 minutes. And if you do want to do that, just make yourself nice and comfortable. You can't do it wrong. Most people like to close their eyes when they do it, like to be lying down because you're going to be nicely relaxed. Because it is the night time and you are worried that you're going to fall asleep, then if you can just go to sleep and stay asleep all night. Or you could set an alarm or get someone to wake you up. But please just make sure that you are not driving while you're listening to this, and you're not got any lit candles around you, just in case you do fall asleep and you're not in the bath. And I would also ask that if you do suffer from anything such as bipolar or schizophrenia, that you have got your condition under control before you do this. That's just a precaution. But yeah, it's all it is. It's a lovely, lovely relaxing time, and it's almost like a mind massage, which I think we could all do with right now, because we are living in a very stressful time at the moment. So anyway, I'd say I went off on a tangent again. I wasn't even supposed to talk about that. I must say as well, I'm drinking apple juice. Looks like I'm drinking wine. I just like to have it in a wine glass, because it tricks my brain into thinking I am actually having a glass of wine, but it's not. It's cordial and apple cordial and water. So how to keep motivated? It's hard, isn't it, to keep motivated when it's wet and snowy and raining outside. It's not an easy thing to get going and stay motivated when you're in your nice warm house with your central heating on. So for this, I want you to think about you've got one brain, but you've got two minds. So you've got an intellectual mind, which is up here, and then you've got a primitive original part of our brain as well. So our intellectual mind is it's the bit that we don't share with other animals. It's a bit that's developed over years. So if we look at prehistoric man, they had a flat head, they didn't have this part of the brain. And this part of the brain is attached to this vast intellectual resource called the intellectual mind. So when we're in this part of the brain, we get things right in life and we come up with answers based on a proper assessment of the situation in front of us, and things are generally very positive. So when we're in this part of the brain, we know that even though it's cold outside, as soon as we get running, we're going to be warm. And we know that we're going to feel amazing when we finish our run. We're going to have that lovely light feeling. We're going to be feeling so much better than we are now. But there's another part of the brain, and this other part of the brain is our primitive original part of the brain. It's the emotional part of the brain, and it's the bit of the brain that's there to keep us safe. So there's all these various bits I could go into, but this would take far too long. But anyway, if you just think of it as the kind of control alarm centre, so it's the bit that's looking out for danger. Now this part of the brain is going to start to give you some talk, shall we say, some negative talk as to reasons why you should not go out on that run. So it's dark, it's cold, it's wet, you don't want to do it, just stay inside, it's much warmer, it's safer, just stay here, just stay here. So we spend more time in that part of our brain when we're particularly stressed. And what we want to be doing is coming from this part of our brain. Now one way of doing that is our primitive emotional part of our brain. It loves a plan. It loves to feel safe by knowing what's coming next. And one way we can do that is to plan out our activities and our runs for the week. So sit down at the beginning of the week, and if you're not following a training plan, then plan it out yourself and put it in your diary and make it explicit that on these days I'm going to go for a run, and I'm going to plan my route. I'm going to plan how long it's going to take me. And I'm going to plan what time I'm going, and I'm going to plan everything around it so that you can safely just go, right, this is it, this is my time to run. And you start thinking about it beforehand, and if you think about it in a positive way and start thinking about all of the lovely positive things that are going to happen off the back of that run, then during the run, then that's great. That'll just make it easier, and it'll calm down that primitive mind, and it'll be more willing and more accepting to keeping you motivated to get out on that run. I hope that makes sense, because I did again just go off on a tangent. So another thing that you can do is you have some accountability. It's funny how being accountable to somebody can make you do what you might otherwise just go, oh, I'm not doing that. So one thing is you could possibly join a local running club. I joined Davenport Runners in the beginning of the lockdown, even though I haven't been able to go out on any runs or anything with them because coronavirus. There's that community there, there's that Facebook group that you can go to, and you can put in your wins and celebrate your wins, and people will go, well done, you've done really well there. And also you can go in and go, I really don't feel like running today, and people will go, just do it, go on, let's get out. I tell you what, I'll go out at the same time as you, even though we're not running together. So having that community, and the beauty of having that community is that we learned very early on, when we were cavemen and whatever, that we were better as a tribe than individuals, because when we were better as a tribe, it meant that we could pull our resources together. We could have enough food, we could have warmth, we could have safety in numbers. And it's still the same for today. We like to be part of a tribe. We like to be recognised as part of a tribe, to be joined, to be a part of a club. So joining a club, it literally will do that for you, and it'll give you that extra little bit of oomph and that extra little push to get out and go running. And the other thing I think I've already discussed is just make it easy. Make it easy for yourself. Plan where you're going to run, plan when you're going to go, get your kit ready. So if you're going to go out in the morning, make sure you have everything out ready. Just quietens down that part of the brain that's going to tell you that you can't do it, because you can do it. We all know that it feels wonderful after we've been for that run. So focus on the reward and give yourself a little bit of a reward. If you're getting out when it's absolutely chucking it down, you need a reward. You know, you need, even if it's just a pat on the back, you need that kind of recognition for the fact that it's not easy getting out for a run when it's raining like it is now. I don't know, you can hear the rain pitter-pattering on my conservatory roof now. I was running down the A6 the other day and had the wonderful experience of running in the rain, and then a van going through the biggest puddle in the world and absolutely drenching me head to toe, which was fun. But do you know what? When I got home, I just gave myself a big pat on the back and said, you did that, and that is brilliant, wonderful, do it again. So anyway, now I've talked the hind legs off you all. I hope you found that useful. So what we're going to do now is some of the relaxation. Like I said, you can't do this wrong, and it's just like a lovely, like a massage for the brain. It's just a really nice way to end your Thursday and feel really good. So if you want to join in, you just have to lie yourself back, get a cushion or something under your head, make yourself as comfortable as possible. If you want to, you can put a blanket over you. And what I'm going to do, so that you don't have to light any candles, is, if I can, oh my word, I've never used it, I figured it out. I've seen the button. I hope I've seen the button. I'm going to turn my camera around so you can look at my candles. Let me see if this is the button. This is the first time I've done an Instagram live. I normally do it on Facebook, so yes, it worked. Right, so I've got some candles lit there. I'm going to turn up the music. I don't know whether you can hear the music playing. And you can just take this time in this busy, difficult time that we're having to just completely relax and have some time for you. So hopefully you're all lying down or sitting back nice and comfortably with your head resting somewhere. Because as you lie yourself back, you can settle down and begin to relax. And just make yourself nice and comfortable. You can notice the weight of your head relaxing there on the pillows. And you can be aware of your head resting on the pillows, knowing that those pillows will fully support the full weight of your head. So you don't have to hold any stress or tension in your shoulders or neck. You can just let your head rest back, nice and relaxed, and let go. And you can relax your shoulders too, because you know that whatever you're sitting or lying on, it will fully support you. It can take your full weight, your full height, every muscle, every fibre of your being, as you just relax back, fully supported. Because now is the time for you to do nothing. You don't have to be anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You can just lie back and relax. And your mind can drift and dream as you hear all the sounds around you. The sounds outside. None of these things need to distract or disturb you, as they comfortably remind you that the world is still safely turning. And you can allow yourself a moment just to rest back, relax, and let go. You can let go of any tension in your stomach or across your shoulders. Ease off those muscles in your back or down your spine, and all along the muscles in your legs, down through your ankles and all the way to your feet, your toes, even your arms, and every finger just loosening and relaxing, perfectly at ease, drifting and dreaming with your thoughts as you pay attention to your breathing, that gentle rise and fall that happens all by itself. And with every breath you take, and with every word I speak, you can just let go. And as you relax there, listening and enjoying these moments all for yourself, you can let your mind drift and dream. And I would like you to imagine something for me. You were standing at the top of 10 steps. Beautiful stairs in an old stately home. Somewhere you've been or somewhere you've seen on film or television. Or perhaps it's somewhere new. A place that you are creating all for yourself right now. But you know that as you make your way down those stairs, you'll find yourself relaxing more and more. And with every number I count, you can just let go of any stress and tension and just drift down into a wonderfully quiet and calm place. And at the bottom of the steps is a short corridor that leads to a door to a very special place. A room where no one ever goes but you. And in that room, you can feel just exactly as you'd want to feel here today. Relaxed, refreshed, and perfectly at ease. And to find this place, all you need to do is to make your way down those stairs. So as I count down from 10 to 0, you can just find yourself relaxing with each number, drifting deeper now, my voice following as I count. 10. Just find yourself relaxing more and more. Every step down taking you closer to that room inside. To 9. Stepping down to 8. Perfectly at ease as you carry on down to 7. And there's a handrail strong and solid on the wall alongside you, worn smooth by years of use. And you realise that you've been down this stairway many, many times. And that this room exists inside you already, ready to be accessed to gain the strength and understanding that you already possess. And 6. There's a picture on the wall beside you, a picture that inspires you as you watch it forming. And I don't know if it is a picture or perhaps a photograph of someone you know or someone you love. Or a painting of a special place that gives you peace or confidence. Somewhere special you've been or somewhere you know. Or perhaps it's still a swirling mass of colour that hasn't quite formed yet, creating a feeling of strength that comes to you from directly deep within your subconscious, allowing you to trust in this process as you take another step down to 5. Halfway down those steps and curious as to what you'll find as you continue down from 4 to 3. Almost as if you're walking on a cushion of air. Not quite touching the steps anymore, just floating down from 3 to 2. Every muscle just loosening and relaxing. You can see that hallway, and you can see the door at the end as you look forward to finding that room, that special place deep inside. A place you already know exists. You're just finding it for yourself again now, as you step down from 2 to 1. Almost all the way down those stairs now, just floating down that final step from 1 to 0. And you can relax your shoulders, every muscle, every fibre of your being, perfectly at ease. And you make your way along that corridor that's lined with pictures of people or places that inspire you, that keep you safe and make you feel comfortable. Reminders of all the success that you've already achieved in your life. Certificates, smiling faces of friends, family and loved ones. And as you walk down along that corridor, you walk past the grandfather clock. An old, antique grandfather clock. And you can hear it ticking, marking the gentle pass of time. As you stop and look at the hands on the face, you suddenly understand that the sound of the tick is just the sound of a moment passing, and that the space in between the ticks is the very moment in which all is real. You can choose to place your mind in that space now, as you watch the hands slowly moving around the face, realising that although they've been round so many times, every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day, for weeks, months, years, decades and centuries, those hands can only tell you of the very moment in which you truly exist. Now. Because the past is gone, and gone with it any opportunity to change what's happened. And yet you understand that the wonderful truth is that we don't have to change the past. You have coped with and have survived everything from your past. And the future? The future is just a dream. A dream that you can colour with bright, clear possibility. You can choose to imagine your future just as you wish it to be. You can fill it with joy and happiness and all the success that you truly deserve. But it all begins in this very moment where all is real, in between the ticks of the clock. And before you move on from that clock in front of you, you see your reflection in the glass window of the cabinet. As the pendulum swings back and forth deep inside, back and forth, back and forth. And you catch your reflection and notice that something has changed. As you stand, reflected in that glass, something has already changed. You can't quite catch what it is. Perhaps it's that you're standing more confidently, or that there's a smile on your face or happiness in your eyes. A joy radiating from you that you can witness in that reflection of yourself now. This inspires you as you turn and move forward, floating down along that corridor to the door of the room where no one ever goes but you. That room in which you can discover so much about yourself and how you'll find that comfort, peace an understanding that already exists deep inside you. For in that room, you can imagine and create and rehearse and be the person that you seek to be, the person that you truly are. Before you open that door, you study it and capture its every detail. You notice whether it's hinged on the left or on the right, its size, its shape, its colour, texture, design. Will it open towards you or away? Will it creak or glide open? Is it light or heavy, old or new? And you see the handle, and before you reach out to open the door, you notice the lock. And I wonder where the key is. Is it in your pocket, or is it around your neck on a length of twine? Or is it already in your hand? An old, ornate brass key that's cool to the touch, but warming as you hold it in your hand. Wherever that key is, you know that this room is never locked to you now. And this room is always accessible to you now, because all you need to do is to simply remember that it exists deep inside you, right now. Because to open the door, you use your mind. Your mind is the key that unlocks that door. And as you find yourself stepping through into a room that's just exactly as you choose it to be, all around you flows a feeling of safety and comfort, bringing a strength that flows through you and radiates from you, inspiring you to trust in the positive future that you create for yourself. Each day you'll feel more confident, more capable, and more connected with all of your inner skills and resources. Resources that are waiting here now for you to tap into and to enjoy. Now, while you're pondering on those thoughts, I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there were two trees growing by the bank of a river. A tall tree and a small tree. And that small young tree, it knew how to wave and dance in the breeze. It knew how to be very flexible. And when the wind blew, it enjoyed changing its perspective. It enjoyed just dancing and moving and dancing. It would see so many things when it changed its perspective. And that big tree was so inflexible it used to envy the small tree. But it was a little bit scared of changing its perspective. It was a bit nervous about it. So one day, it asked the small tree, "How do you do that? How do you change the way you see things and change the way you enjoy things?" And the little tree said, "Well, you must kind of let go and you just let it happen." And so the next time when that wind blew, the big tree really wanted to let go. And the little tree said, "You can do it. You can make those changes. No need to be afraid. Your roots go deep in the ground and you can have that inner stability, even though you're moving with the winds of change and enjoying that dance. That inner dance of life that you can allow to happen all by itself." And the big tree was so happy, feeling its new way of seeing things. And because it had a new way of seeing things, it also had a new way of recalling things, bringing back images when it wanted to recall the dance. And that big tree also learned, as it got more flexible in its behaviour and in its perceptions, that what it thought was on the horizon was really only a limitation it was placing on itself. And as it danced and swayed and danced, it could see further and further. It could see fields beyond towns, it could even see the sea in the distance. And it was so happy to have a new way of seeing things. So happy to know it could recall in a new pleasant way, pleasant images and pleasant memories. And starting now, more and more, you realise that happiness and unhappiness are due to your own thoughts and the way you think about situations. You'll be able to shift your thoughts and the way you think about situations. You'll be able to shift your thoughts to positive aspects and look at the positive aspects of living and enjoy every day. You'll become more and more aware that if life's situations are not the way you always want them, you'll work to change them without frustration, without anger, without being bothered. You'll work to change things that are not the way you want them, but you will do it with a calm, peaceful mind, being at ease and at peace with the universe. You'll become more and more aware that you can face problems with a calm mind, with strength and determination to work to improve them. And when you cannot change things, you'll accept them calmly. You'll be aware that anger and frustration do not help. You'll realise that life is too precious and too wonderful to waste it on being bothered over little things and little annoyances. Starting today, you'll work to change anything that's changeable, that you can change with peace of mind, without being bothered, without frustration, without anger. You'll be less and less worried about the future, problems of the future and dangers of the future which will never occur anyway. Most of the things you worry about won't happen anyway. You'll let the worries go, you'll enjoy the day. You'll let yourself go, and you'll enjoy yourself, as worries drop out of your life. Now, keeping hold of those lovely, positive feelings and emotions and thoughts, I just want you to start to bring your attention back to my voice and start to picture the room around you. Listen out for any noises you can hear. Take some nice deep breaths and get some sensation back through your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes. And when you feel like you're absolutely ready, you can open your eyes and sit yourself up. Just want to say thank you so much for having me. I hope you've enjoyed and had some benefit from what I said tonight. And yeah, I wish you all a very relaxed and peaceful evening. And hopefully I shall see you soon. And now I've got to figure out how to end an Instagram live, so wish me luck. Okay, see you soon. Bye.